Hi, it's Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to share with you this birthday card that I made for a friend that I'm meeting this afternoon for birthday cocktails. So let me set this aside and we'll get started and make it together. For the card, I'm going to be using the Young at Heart stamp set with this image here. Let me grab my stamp and a piece of paper, and we're using Memento ink, and I have masked my ladies here. In the end, I'm only going to use 2 of them. Let me make sure I'm getting good and inked in here by the mask. There are no second takes here unless otherwise I have to replace the mask, and I don't want to do that. So making sure that all of my lines are good and inky. And then let me reach in here and pull this mask off. There we go. There we go. Okay. Give it a huff to re-moisten the ink. Okay. Now, as I'm sure you can see, my gal is missing part of her skirt here and just a little bit up here on the shoulder. So I'm going to fix that. I've got my black Stampin' Right marker, and I'm going to use both hands, kind of like you do when you have an essential trimmer to keep this from shaking. And I'm going to start up here and just bring that down. The extra finger works as helps to guide it. And then I'm going to fix her shoulder here. And now I'm ready to color. Let me move my ink pad out of the way. So for her, I'm using Pretty Peacock, and then Light and Dark Pool Party, and a little Bermuda Bay. And I generally use the brush tips on my markers. Okay, so let's start with the skirt. And how about we come in just a little closer for you? Okay, so we're going to start with the skirt. Put the dark in up here by the peplum. And then I'm going to take the light and kind of bring that out. This is a great color for this skirt. It's kind of I'm going to say light denim almost, with a hint of green in it. Okay, and I'm going to put a little more dark here and bring it down, because I kind of think she's got a shadow on the back, if I've got to choose a place for a shadow. Okay, so that's her skirt. Let's put these markers away and work on her top. And as I said, Light and Dark Pool Party and some Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to touch in the Bermuda Bay here and some here. And this is the Dark Pool Party that I'm bringing it out with. And what this ends up with is kind of a coastal cabana shade. Okay, and I just want to dot a little bit of this right along the line, which will allow me to bring some of this color down into the peplum here. And have that same blended color. Okay. Oh, and I almost forgot, she's got a couple of bracelets, so let's dot in some of the dark pool party. And then I want to grab the light pretty peacock and do her other bracelet. And I'm going to use the bullet tip because it's easier in this small space. And then my other gal here, I'm going to color her with Night of Navy and then some Daffodil Delight. So right along the bottom of the shirt, we're going to go with some dark Night of Navy. And then I'm going to begin bringing that down. Here's my color lifter. And I got out of the line, so I color around it and then back towards the line. And that chases it back across the line. And then the same thing here. Just going to come right here. And bringing this down. Okay. And we're going to make her shoes the dark Night of Navy. And I think I want a little more dark ink in here. Okay. And I've got another little spot that I want to chase my ink back across. So I'll do that before I start coloring her shirt. And I've got dark and light Daffodil Delight here. And we'll start on the top part of her shirt. And right here where her arm is, it's going to cast a shadow. Okay, I've got to watch that I'm not pulling this out of camera as I move it around. Okay, and a little dark under that arm as well. And then I think we should have kind of here. Let me turn that. And gives that shirt a little bit of shading. And I think I'm going to make her earrings blue. Okay, now let's play with hair a little bit. So I've got dark and light soft suede here, and a little bit of light mango melody. And I'm going to start with some of this, and then some of the light soft suede, and then right here in the center do the darkest soft suede, and then come back one more time with some of this, and hopefully we've got a little bit of, looks like okay, so that's going to be her hair. And then we're going to go over here and see what we can do. We've got the light and coloring hair is still a work in progress for me to get the texture going. Okay, and back to light. I'm just switching light and dark and then coming back and blending with the light so that I don't leave lines of dark. Okay, oh, she's got boots on, so we'll do her boots in the soft suede. And I've just put a shadow line down the back, and we'll blend that out a little bit. And my color lifter here. Got a little too vigorous with my stroking. I think I'm moving too fast today. Not usually out of the line so often, but as you can see, it's easy to move it back in. So then we're going to, same thing here, come down the back. Okay. And let me cap these, and we've got just a couple more things to do. We're going to put some lipstick on our gals, and I've got Light Lovely lipstick here, and I'm going to color that on my piece of vellum, and then I'm going to use my color lifter for that soften blends technique that I shared with you previously. And we're just going to touch this in on her cheeks. And we'll touch some in here on hers. Okay. And then I'm going to use the bullet tip and hope not to get my head in the camera here as I color her lips and not her teeth. None of us like lipstick on our teeth, and I feel sure these gals wouldn't be fans either. Okay, so now it's time to fussy cut. So let's cut the middle gal out of this all together. And then, as you know, as you fussy cut, you turn the cardstock, not the scissors. I don't have a need to, or feel the need to cut right up against the image. You can if you want. Sometimes, though, I find that leaving that white border allows the fussy cut image to pop a little bit off of your background. I keep trying to look up and see if I've moved out of frame, but I can't cut and look at the camera at the same time. Kind of like driving in traffic. You can't look at other things when you're supposed to be watching the traffic. Okay, and almost done with her. Okay, so I'll set this other one aside and cut her off camera. In the meantime, we need the cake, and I'm using Piece of Cake for that. This one that says Happy Birthday. I've got a strip of Whisper White and my stamp here, and I'm going to ink that in Memento as well. Make sure it's good and inked up. There we go. And then press and hold for a minute. And then I have my cake builder punch here, and we're just going to slide this in. Give it a punch. And then let's color this. So I'm going to have a pool party colored cake. I just want a little bit of light color on this. And pool party seems like a good choice. Nice long strokes all in one direction when you're doing a solid background kind of thing. And then we're going to do a shadow line here with the dark pool party. And I want to color over that. Okay, and there's our birthday cake. I'll be back in a moment after I fussy cut our other gal. Okay, so our gals are cut out, and now I want to do kind of a loose watercolor background for them. So I've got my aqua painter and Coastal Cabana ink, And I just want to do a quick little brush here. I'm not looking to saturate the paper, quite the opposite. Just want a quick brush on some ink, and I've got a little bit of Bermuda Bay that I want to brush in for kind of, I don't know, highlights, low lights, some sort of lights to give it a little more texture. And that's going to be it. Let me give it a good blot here with my paper towel, and I'm going to go heat it with my heat tool. Now, if you do this and your paper wants to warp, brush it on the back with your aqua painter, not saturating it, but it'll help the paper to lay flat again. I'll be right back. So now let's assemble the card. We're going to use a thick Whisper White base, Bermuda Bay, and Coastal Cabana mats, and then the background piece that we did just a moment ago. So let's start by adhering the mats to each other. I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue, and my Bermuda Bay mat has a very narrow frame, so you just get a hint of that color. And then let's adhere this piece to the layers. And we have a little more frame going on from the Coastal Cabana to the watercolor background piece. Just want to make sure I get it adhered well. A little bit of warping, which is normal with a watercolor background. Okay. And because of this narrow mat on the back, we're going to adhere this directly to the card base. Okay, so now we're ready to zhuzh it a little bit and then add our gals. So as not to hide the watercolor, I'm going to use silver metallic thread and use big loops. So I'm just winding that all the way around my hand. And then we'll do some strategically placed glue dots. The first one, of course, has to be where all of the ends meet up. Oops. And I want to spread these out a little bit. And I'm going to turn this because I want to hope to hide that bit under one of my gals. That'll work. Okay, let's move these bits out of my way completely and grab some dimensionals. So I'm using full size here, and then I'm going to add some mini dimensionals as well. I'm going to need to cut these so that they fit on arms and legs. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put her here. I may move her, so I haven't pressed her down. Oops. And one more. There we go. Oops. Well, that can't be. This dimensional is showing, and nobody likes that. Okay. And let's put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this cake. Couple being 3 in this case. Okay, I'm going to set that off just a little bit wonky. And then to finish our zhuzh, we're going to use some of the glitter enamel dots. And again, I set them down first and then check to make sure I've got them going where I want them to. And something about their placement just seems a little off to me. So I'm going to play with them here a second. And not getting what I want. Okay. And there we go. Card for a friend. This is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker of theartfulinker.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and then hop on over to my website, theartfulinker.com, and shop for your Stampin' Up! Products. Thanks for stopping in today. Bye!